The best customer a gym can have is someone who pays every single month and never shows up. That isn't a joke. It's the actual foundation of one of the most profitable business models in fitness. While most companies live or die by keeping customers engaged and coming back, some of the biggest names in the gym industry have built billion-dollar businesses on almost the exact opposite, selling memberships to people who statistically are very unlikely to ever use them. Nobody demonstrates this better than Planet Fitness. Founded in 1992, the chain has grown to more than 2,600 locations and over 20 million members, built almost entirely around one radical idea: make gym membership so cheap at around $10 to $15 a month and so unintimidating that literally anyone would sign up, even people who have no real intention of working out regularly. Planet Fitness didn't try to outcompete other gyms for serious athletes. In its own marketing, the company has said its real competition isn't other fitness chains at all, it's the couch. Industry research suggests roughly 80% of American adults feel genuinely uncomfortable in traditional, hardcore gym environments, intimidated by serious lifters, unfamiliar equipment, or simply not knowing what they're doing. Planet Fitness built its entire brand around capturing exactly that audience, and it worked. The company now generates well over $1 billion a year in system-wide revenue, largely from a membership base that, by design, shows up rarely, if ever, and the way Planet Fitness protects that casual, low-pressure identity is oddly specific. Many locations have something called the Lunk Alarm, an actual siren and flashing light that staff can trigger if a member grunts too loudly, slams down weights, or acts like the stereotypical, intimidating gym goer. It sounds almost like a joke, but the intent is serious. Planet Fitness has openly built its brand around making serious lifters feel slightly unwelcome because its real target customer was never the person chasing personal records. It's the person who wants to feel good about joining without ever feeling pressured to actually perform. Here's the number that explains everything about why that works financially. By some industry estimates, up to 67% of gym memberships go almost entirely unused. Most gyms know this. They don't just tolerate it, they build their entire pricing and capacity around it. A gym only has so many treadmills and so much floor space. If every single member actually showed up at once, most locations would be dangerously overcrowded within days. So gyms deliberately sell far more memberships than their space could ever handle, sometimes overselling capacity many times over, confident that the vast majority of paying members simply won't come in. From a pure number standpoint, a member who pays but never appears costs the gym almost nothing in wear, water, electricity, or staff attention, while a member who shows up daily costs real money in maintenance and space. The empty membership isn't a failure of the business model, it's the business model. So, why do people keep signing up for something they won't use? Behavioral economists point to a very specific moment: the sign up itself. Kevin Volpe, a researcher at the Wharton School, has explained that new members aren't really buying a service. They're buying an identity. They're picturing a future version of themselves who finally goes 3 times a week and gets in shape. That imagined future self is the real product being sold. The membership fee feels less like a monthly cost and more like a down payment on becoming a healthier person, which is exactly why the sales pitch is so easy, even when the follow-through rarely happens. The harder question is why people don't cancel once that initial motivation fades. This comes down to a few well-documented biases in how our brains handle money and commitment. There's loss aversion, where the discomfort of canceling something feels roughly twice as strong psychologically as the pleasure of saving that same money. There's the endowment effect, where we overvalue things simply because we already own them. And there's status quo bias, where doing nothing and continuing to pay requires far less mental effort than the active decision to cancel. None of this requires a member to be lazy or careless. It's simply how human decision-making works by default, and gyms, whether deliberately or not, are set up to profit from it every single month. Some gyms go a step further and engineer the cancellation process itself to be difficult. Long-term contracts, cancellation windows that only open once a year, and rules that require showing up in person during limited hours just to end a membership are extremely common across the industry. Some chains have historically required a certified letter sent by mail or an in-person visit during narrow weekday hours just to process what should be a simple request. Consumer attorneys who specialize in these contracts have pointed out that this friction isn't accidental. Every additional day a membership stays active is more revenue, whether or not a single workout happens during that time, and every extra step in the cancellation process is one more chance that a member simply gives up and keeps paying instead. Planet Fitness also layers a second business on top of the first, the upgraded Black Card membership, which costs a bit more but unlocks perks like guest privileges, access to any location, and use of massage chairs. It's a classic upsell, and it works particularly well on members motivated by that same identity-driven psychology. People who already feel good about joining are often willing to pay a little extra to feel like they've upgraded their commitment, even if their actual attendance never changes. Put it all together, and the modern gym membership model looks less like a fitness business and more like a very well-designed subscription trap. The low price removes the barrier to joining. The identity-driven sales pitch makes signing up feel good in the moment. The Lunk Alarm and casual branding keep away the serious users who'd actually strain the gym's capacity. And a handful of predictable psychological biases handle the rest, quietly keeping people paying long after the motivation that got them in the door has disappeared. None of it requires anyone to be tricked in an obvious way. It just requires a business that understands human behavior better than most of its own customers do and prices itself accordingly.